Hey, what's good, beautiful people? It is Sunday, November 17th, 2019. It's 2:59. We're about 10 seconds out from 3 o'clock p.m. I hope everyone's doing well. I don't know if y'all can hear me. Give me a second. I think something happened with my audio. So if you can hear me, if you can hear me, drop a comment in the chat. I'm trying to check on my phone because I have no sounds of audio on my computer. Give me 1 second. Okay, you can hear me? Give me 1 second. Okay, good stuff. There's another YouTube glitch. I have no idea what's going on with the system. What's up, sister? I hope you're doing well. Thank you for joining. To everyone, thank you for joining. It's good to see y'all in the chat, on the live, in the replay, what have you. My name is Danielle Jeffers. I'm the founder of Dough for Degrees, LLC. Dough for Degrees is a scholarship coaching company where we teach students how to earn scholarships to go to college and graduate debt-free. This is our weekly YouTube live. It's called Dough for Degrees Community Scholarship Chat, where we go live every single Sunday from 3 o'clock to 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we answer questions you have about scholarships, college success, academic success, perseverance, managing college, managing student loan debt, all that stuff and more on this YouTube channel every Sunday. Now, I do owe you all an apology because I promised to give you all 3 videos each week. And this week, my schedule was slammed with traveling. That's not an excuse. I'm not giving you an excuse. I apologize for not uploading 3 videos this week. What I am going to do is I'm going to upload 6 this week, 3 for last week, and 3 for this week. So I didn't upload 3 last week. So I'm going to give you 6 this week. Thank you, sister. No apologies needed. But I was traveling in Maryland. I mentioned on my last YouTube live that I'll be teaching at the College of Southern Maryland in La Plata in February 2020. I'll be doing a course called College Without Student Loans. Give me 1 second. I'm going to grab the book. So I went to Maryland on last Monday, and went to sign my paperwork to teach at the College of Southern Maryland. And so inside of this is the course book for the winter 2020 session. And on page 34 of this book is the course I'll be teaching. It's called College Without Student Loans. You can't see the print, but you probably can see the title, College Without Student Loans, right there. And the details about this course are online. I think I'll release some more information probably in like December about the course, but you can register to take the course through the College of Southern Maryland. And I'll be teaching 2 Saturdays, February 1st and February 8th. It's contingent upon me getting 5 students enrolled. I currently have 3 students enrolled already, so I only need 2 more for the course to go through, and we'll run it in February of 2020. And the class max, the max is 20 students. So we can run 20 students in that class. I just need 2 more to secure their spots before, I think, the last week in January, something like that, and then we'll run the class. So I went to Maryland to do that this past Monday. Excuse me. So we're talking about like November 11th or 12th, one of those dates. But now I went to Philadelphia. I mentioned that in the last live. I went to Philadelphia November 14th through the 17th. So I literally just got back to Woodbridge. Y'all know this is the background. Y'all usually see my videos because I'm in my apartment. But I just got back to Woodbridge. And so I was in Philadelphia to support Corey Hackett Green, co-founder of the In My Bag Tour. If you're not familiar with what Dough for Degrees does on the nonprofit side, our philanthropic work includes giving back to our hometowns. My hometown specifically, Danville, Virginia. I co-founded an effort with Corey Hackett Green and Kevin Stevenson. Corey is a 2017 graduate of Virginia Tech. He graduated with his bachelor's in economics, and Kevin is a 2019 graduate. We graduated together from Virginia Tech. He graduated with his Bachelor of Science in Building Construction. And so we co-founded an effort this year, and we gave away more than 500 book bags filled with school supplies and 200 teacher appreciation gifts between my hometown of Danville, Virginia, and Corey's hometown of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania in August of this year. And so I went to Philly to support Corey as he was honored for his community service in his hometown by an organization called Always the Topic of Discussion. Always the Topic of Discussion. And so they had an adult prom last night. Corey received an award, gave an acceptance speech. Perfect. Awesome. I have some footage. I'll upload that this week. That'll probably be one of the 6 videos I upload. And then I also had a speaking engagement in Philly on Friday, November 15th. I don't have any footage of that, but I'll speak on that in the recap video. And so I was up in Philly for that, went to see some family, all those things. So I've been busy. I haven't had a lot of time to upload, and I, again, apologize for not getting to y'all. But we're getting back on track this week. So what I want to let you know, what's coming up for Dough for Degrees. We're closing out this year. This year is coming to a close in a month and a half. It's literally November 15th. No, it's November 17th. So, I mean, it's almost over. 2019 is almost over. But just because it's coming to an end doesn't give you the right to slack up. We're in the fourth quarter. Fourth quarter is when you apply the most pressure. You got to finish the year off in excellence. And one thing I want to talk about today, as always, if you have any questions or concerns, please drop them in the chat. Hopefully, my computer is still letting me know when comments are coming through because I can't see any audio signal. So I'm going to actually pull up the live on my phone so that I don't miss anything. I'm just going to turn the audio off. What's up, Cab? Peace. But yes, what I will say is finish the year off in excellence. Have a standard of excellence. This is why some students win scholarships and others don't, is because you have to have a standard of how you do things. If you're confident, if you're okay with just being good, just being average and being mediocre, you will never see abundance of what excellence looks like. But when you have a standard of excellence, you're excellent in everything you do, from whether it's taking out the trash, to turning in your homework early, to submitting a scholarship with great attention to detail and proper etiquette, all those things. If you just have this standard operating procedure, it's almost like the operating system on a phone or a Mac. It's built to function a certain way. No matter what app you turn on, no matter what you do, it's going to process it in a certain system and give you the results you want. And so when you have a standard of excellence, you're built to operate in a certain way. You're not built to slack off. You're not built to be late. You're not built to have low self-esteem, though you may encounter issues and situations and seasons when you go through that, but you're built to operate in a certain way. And so as a scholarship applicant, you have to have a standard of excellence. That means in everything you do, do it with excellence. Now, what is excellence? Let's break it down. Excellence is not perfection. Excellence, let's distinguish the two. Perfection is no errors, no results. You don't mess up. We, as scholarship applicants, a debt-free graduate, whatever you want to call yourself, we operate at Dough for Degrees with the mindset progress, not perfection. I will never be perfect. I never seek to be perfect. I don't care about perfection. There's no way I can be perfect because I've already messed up so many times. I've stumbled in this video and I'm probably going to stumble again. So this video is not perfect. The angle may be a little off, but what I am working toward is progress. And so having a mindset of progress, not perfection, encourages you to focus on where you can improve instead of frustrating yourself with where you messed up. What's up, TMH? I hope all is well. Have a mindset of progress, not perfection. Those two things, progress, not perfection, and having a standard of excellence is what will help you win. And let me break that down to you. So progress, not perfection. So for instance, let's say you're applying for a scholarship and you don't win it. How do you react? How do you deal with your emotions? Well, first and foremost, it's best to make logical decisions. So when you make emotional decisions, your emotions may override your intellect and therefore cause you to act out of worry, fear, hesitation, anxiety, what have you. But when you make logical decisions, you think, okay, this is what I'm dealing with right now. What step do I need to take next? Now, granted, I understand that's a process because I'm at a point now in my life where I make more logical decisions than I do emotional. But at times I still make emotional decisions. So I'm not asking you to be perfect, but I'm asking you to make progress. So when you're applying for these scholarships, and this was something I had to learn myself, when I first started applying, I got 12 rejection letters in a week or two. I think it was a week or 2 weeks. And so people told me no every day for like 14 days. Emotionally, I was distraught. Emotionally, I was battling. I'm like, what's the point of this process? Because I'm not winning. I don't see what I need to do differently because I have a 4.2 GPA. I'm ranked number 7 in my graduating class in high school. I have over 200 hours of community service, and I have a story. Why am I not winning scholarships? There's no point in this process. I'm done. I threw in the towel. I was emotionally exhausted from not winning, and so I quit. But my aunt called me I called my aunt from Philadelphia and said, you know what, I'm done. She said, no, I'll give you a week to cry about it, and then you need to get back to work. Now, that was a turning point in my story, and that's when I had to make a logical decision. This is something I want to teach you too. If you quit, you lose. If you quit, if you stop applying for scholarships, if you stop asking for letters of recommendations, if you stop finding 5 scholarships every day, you will lose. If you quit, you lose. You can't quit. All you have to do is keep going. And so instead of making that emotional decision of, I'm tired of, what's up, Carrie? I hope all is well. Instead of making that emotional decision of, I'm tired of applying for these scholarships, think logically and say, if I don't apply for these scholarships and give myself a chance to win, I will have to take out student loans and therefore pay for my education and some because of interest in the future. And so logically, it's more advantageous for you to take the time you have right now and work toward being successful by getting college paid for without having to pull a dime out of your pocket than to get frustrated and quit on yourself. So that's when you think progress, not perfection. So my mindset switched from, well, why aren't these people choosing me, to how can I perfect my essays? Now, I just talked about you not being perfect. That's something I want to dig into. What's up, Lily? Good to see you. That's something I want to dig into a little bit more. Don't try to be perfect, but at the same time, try to limit or eliminate as many errors, grammatical errors, punctuation errors, what have you, in your writing. And so it was a mindset of, okay, does this thought make sense? Is this cohesive? Is this making sense to my reader? Am I telling my story in a chronological order or in an order that will give them a picture of what I went through? Those type of questions will help you make progress. Now, you won't be perfect, because I went back and read my high school essays and my college scholarship essays, and I still had grammatical errors in them. And I started to ask myself, man, why did I win these scholarships when some of my sentences don't make sense? But because I was seeking progress and not perfection, I kept pushing through, though it may not have been perfect. And that's one thing that progress, not perfection, will trigger in you, is perseverance, because you can't make progress if you stop. When you stop, everything comes to an end. The only way you can get better is to keep going. And for all my student entrepreneurs, people in life, what have you, if you quit, you lose. And if you quit, you forgo your opportunity to get better and to become better in whatever you're doing in life. And so quitting is just, it's pointless. If you want to stop at what you're doing, then I guess this is it. I guess this is just enough to make you feel satisfied. You got to keep pushing. You got to keep going. And I'm speaking to myself when I say that, because entrepreneurship is not easy. Business ownership is far from easy. But if I quit, I'll never see all the fruit of my labor. I put in too much work to throw in the towel right now. And so y'all keep going. So that's progress, not perfection. We've covered that. Now let's look at having a standard of excellence. And so when I talk about having a standard of excellence, one thing I want to touch on today is manners and etiquette. There are unspoken rules in everything we do. Like in society, there's an unspoken rule that you don't cut in front of someone in line. Now, some people were taught that in school or when they were growing up as a child. You just don't cut in front of somebody. If somebody was waiting before you, you don't get in front of them. But hey, everyone, who is that rule posted everywhere, on every corner, on every street sign? Don't cut in front of people. Is everyone walking around with a t-shirt that says don't cut in front of people? No. So it's an unspoken rule. There are certain societal expectations that we have of each other to help us work and live in peace and harmony in some way or format, that we don't want to disturb the operating procedure of society. So follow me for a second, track with me. And so I'm saying you have to have a standard of excellence. So when you talk about manners and etiquette in regards to the scholarship process, as you go in, if you're going to see a counselor to go ask for scholarship applications that she's found this week, or that new applications are available for students to apply for, don't go in there like, yo, what's good, B? How you doing? You got some applications for me today? Don't go in there like that. Don't go in there like that. Now, if y'all had that type of relationship, that's y'all. I'm going to let you do you. But what I encourage you to do is come in with a sense of professionalism, because once again, this is a professional opportunity. When scholarship providers give scholarships, they are literally investing in their community. They are making an investment. And if you know anything about investing, you want to get a return on your investment. And so when you apply for these scholarships, yeah, you may be thinking, I need money to go to school, but they're thinking, if I pick the student, how will it impact their life? So they want you to be a good student and therefore keep the cycle going. Scholarships are a cyclical nature in many parts. You will go through the same thing over and over again. Find the application, complete the application, submit the application. Go back to step one, find the applications, complete the application, submit the application. Same thing with the scholarship provider. They're thinking, invest in this student. This student gets a positive impact. They come back and invest in the community. Go through the process again, invest in another student. That student has a positive life because of my investment. They come back and invest in the community. It's a cyclical process. It's a scholarship process. It's a circle. That's how it works. And so when you go in there to get your counselor's new application, you want to go in, hi, Mr., Mrs., what have you, whatever their name is. Hope you're having a great day today. I'm still applying for scholarships to help me go to college and graduate debt free. I was wondering if there are any new applications available. Boom. Yes or no? Okay. They gave you the answer. Thank you so much for your time and attention. Is it okay if I come in here and ask you a couple of questions? They give you a yes or no. If they say yes, when's the best time to come see you? How do I go about scheduling an appointment with you to speak with you about applying for scholarships? That is so simple, but that will help you stand out in regards to all the other students who are asking for help. And this is something I have to credit my mother for. She watches my videos, so shout out to my mom. But my mom taught me professionalism at a young age. And I'm going to dig into this a little bit. And I'm not just going to talk about myself, but I hope you pick up nuggets from what I'm going to share. My mother was a banker. And there was something I always admired about my mother from watching her in her professional endeavors as a kid. Was my mother had a desk and she was always professional. I would call my mommy at work, hey, mommy. And she had on her professional voice. Hi, this is such and such. I'm not going to say my mom's name on YouTube Live because she may not want me to. But if you looked up Doe for Degrees or anything, you probably have seen her name in some of my articles. But she would say, hi, this is such and such. Thank you for calling such and such today. I'm not going to give the name of business either. But anyway, she was very professional. And when she realized it was me, her tone may have shifted a little bit. But because she was still in a professional environment, she played to the unspoken rules at hand. She wasn't, hey, baby girl, how you doing? Everything okay at school? Da, 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 da. No, it was still, okay, when do you need me to pick you up today? Boom, boom, boom. Now, when we stepped outside of the confines of our environment, when I was no longer in school and she was no longer at work and we were in the car, then we could have fun and we could talk the way we wanted to talk. But when you're in an environment and once again, you want to be professional, this is what will help you stand out. And so from hearing my mother do that at a young age, I picked up that subconsciously. And so when I went to go see my guidance counselor, though I knew her maybe on a little bit more of a personal level, I still went in professionally because I knew this was all about business. Like this is still how she eats, how she pays her bills. And so if I maintain a professional atmosphere, a professional appearance in this manner, it's only going to help me. Because the thing about it is you want to be subconsciously ready to succeed at all times. And I'm going to break that down again. You want to be subconsciously ready to succeed at all times. And so you have to know what you're doing and how you're doing it and make sure you move accordingly. Because this is something I learned in scholarships very early. Someone is always watching you. Someone is always watching you. I would win my scholarships and I would be in Walmart with my friends, tempted to act up and go ride a bike in the middle of the aisle. If something in me would be like, don't do that. Next thing I know, and this really happened to me, I turned the corner and saw one of my scholarship providers. Now, what happens when you receive a scholarship? They invested in you because you look good on paper. And then they catch you out in public acting a fool. How would you feel? Like you're carrying their name around. I'm a scholarship recipient of such and such. I represent this organization. They invested in me to go to college, and now I'm acting a fool. I mean, you tell me, like you have to be on your P's and Q's at all times. So that goes back to what I said before. Have a standard of excellence in everything you do. Thank you, sister. Code switch, very important. Very, very important. Code switching is something you can look up online, talk about it. I'm not going to get that spiel today. I don't want to dig into that. But what was I saying? Having a standard of excellence. Do everything with excellence. Now, I'm not asking you to be perfect. Once again, I'm going to keep going to that. I'm just asking you to be excellent. And so if your excellence looks like you speaking clearly and properly and distinctively at all times, then that's your excellence. Know how to cut it on and cut it off. If your excellence looks like you making sure your hair is done every day so that you have a good appearance and you look professional in your appearance, that's your standard of excellence. What have you? But this week, I ask you to take some time to look at and examine areas of your life where you may not be working on a progressive mindset. You may be seeking perfection and then getting frustrated because you're not perfect. Well, first and foremost, you'll never be perfect. But seek and change your mindset to seek progress in everything you do. And so this is the one question I ask you to ask yourself this week as you go throughout this week, whether you're applying for scholarships, on your job, driving, what have you, is how can I improve? Every single day. How can I improve? How can I improve? How can I improve? Boom, boom, boom. Ask yourself that question and think and reflect. I learned this in college. Leaders take the time to reflect because as a leader, you're always in a position. You always have to be ready to teach. at all times, because there are people following you who are listening and watching to see what you have to say. How can I improve? Now, that's the question for progress, not perfection. Now, with the standard of excellence, ask yourself, and this is the same question I just mentioned, but in a different way. What can I do better? Excellence is always about this high bar. It's not perfection, but it's a high bar that you set for yourself so that you know if you're going to ace this test, you may need to study 8 hours. That is a high bar to ace one test. If you're not going to be excellent, then you might be okay with studying 4 hours, just 4 hours. But how can I improve and what can I do better? Those two questions, the same question, basically, how can I improve? But that question will help you grow and be more successful, because what it's going to teach you, what's underlying under all of that is patience. Patience, being patient with your growth, being patient with the process, being patient with your maturation. All of that is underlying under everything. Patience. And so that's the biggest tip I have for y'all today. Operate with the standard of excellence and progress, not perfection. If that helped y'all, please drop a comment in the chat. Let me know. I will be more than happy to answer any questions you have. Drop a question in the chat as well. We have about 9 minutes left. This week, I'm also going to, let's talk about the YFL Scholarship before we close out today at 3:30. Let's talk about the YFL Scholarship. So you all know that the YFL Scholarship opened on October 21st. I shot a video and announced it a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. Then I shot a video week before last, and I dropped it, and I talked about how to win the YFL Scholarship. If you are a high school senior and you are, or a first-year college freshman, and you haven't looked at that scholarship opportunity, please do. The first place award is $25,000. This year, they're giving away more than $400,000 in scholarships. And when I applied, the first place award was $6,000, and I won that first place award. And I'm going to do my best to get a video to you all this week about how I won that scholarship. Now I'm talking about my personal experience in that video. I'm not giving tips, and I might slide in some tips and advice, but I'm giving you more of my experience applying for that scholarship and how I received it, because it included a 3-day all expense paid trip to Las Vegas, Nevada to go receive that scholarship. And so we have a question. Cab asked, what info would you give to students who attend underfunded schools or schools that tend not to care, or advice? What advice would I give the students who attend underfunded schools or schools that tend not to care? I've been in those situations, and you feel neglected. I'll come from my personal experience first, and then I'll give advice. So when I was in high school, I went to a predominantly Black high school. I went to George Washington High School. And then I went to Governor's School my junior and senior years of high school. And so at a predominantly Black high school, I had an eye to see, okay, this could be improved. There's not funding for this. Now, I didn't have all the particulars, and I didn't understand everything with depth at the time, but I could tell the different experience I was having between at GW and Governor's School, which was predominantly white. I could tell there was more money at Governor's School, and there was more investment in that program than there was at GW. Now, we can look at this racially, which is probably the case. We can look at this in different ways, what have you, but let's look at it from the money aspect. If you have a school that's funded very well, and they are able to give these students excellent things, take them on college tours, these students have something that's called hope. They have hope that everything will be okay because they're exposed to it on a regular basis. I had a speaking engagement in Philadelphia, which I mentioned earlier, on the 15th. And the students I spoke to, I could tell in that moment if they had lost hope. They were hopeless. One young lady, she said, I want to go to college. I said, okay, where do you want to go to college? That's always my first question. Where do you want to go to school? And she said, I want to go to, I think she said Drexel. And she named a couple other schools. I said, well, what do you want to study? She said, I want to study medicine. I want to study how the heart works. I think she said she wanted to be a cardiovascular surgeon or something like that. And my next question was why? Because it's very particular. So I know there's something that's rooted in something. And she's like, my father has heart concerns, and I really want to be able to help people through that. And that touched me because I've been in situations like that with my family. Okay, ball of play. I hear you. I guess. Thank you. I guess. But it touched my heart because I knew she had a big dream, but she was like, I don't know how I'm going to achieve it because money's an issue. And I said, okay. And so I could tell the money was weighing on her more than the potential of what she could become in the future. And so she was hopeless because she didn't see where the money would come from. And so my advice to students who are in situations where they may not have all the funding they need is to take advantage of what's at your fingertips and make sure you expose yourself to what can be in the future. So what you can be in the future. This was my biggest thing. I always wanted to be a motivational speaker. I always wanted to be a person who inspires students. But as I grew and matured, I knew that motivational speaking would only take me so far, because motivation has to have principles and practices underneath to help people succeed. They have to know which steps to take. But I always knew I would do something in speaking. And so what I would do is I would get up in the morning and watch E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I don't know if y'all have seen him. He has a YouTube channel. He has a business. He does motivational speaking for a living. His name is Eric Thomas. His name in the world is E.T. the Hip Hop Preacher. I would watch him every morning. I would ask my mom to buy me his books for Christmas and for my birthday and all those things, because I was fascinated with what I saw in him, because I knew it was in me. And I knew I had the potential to become that. And so I would expose myself to it so much so that it was like it's secondhand to me. People would ask me what I want to do when I get older. I've been saying I want to do the same thing when I get older since I was a kid. I want to travel, I want to speak, and I want to write. That is what I want to do. Now, I didn't know it would become dope for degrees, but I knew in my core, those are the three things I want to do. And I would expose myself to it every single day. And so don't let your school dictate your future. Don't let your present circumstances define who you'll become. This is one thing I hope you all learn. Other people's opinions of you don't define you. I'll say it again. Other people's opinions of you do not define you. They don't define you. What defines you is what you say about yourself. And if you want to get spiritual about it, is what God says about you. They didn't give you your identity. One lesson I had to learn the hard way, because I was bullied a lot as a kid, is that I was bullied because I was never a girly girl. I've always been a tomboy. They would say, oh, you're weird, whatever. Is I was fine because before you said what you said about me, and I'll be fine after you finish saying what you have to say about me. Basically, what I'm saying is the time I've had in life prior to you giving your opinion to me that I didn't ask for, I was fine before that, and I'm gonna be fine after you do it. So it doesn't really matter, because what you say about me doesn't dictate what time I get up and go to work. It doesn't dictate how successful I am. It's just your opinion. Your opinion is not a fact, so it doesn't really matter. So what I'm saying is that don't let your circumstances, don't let the lack of money right now stop you from dreaming and working toward what you want. Study what you want to become. If you see things and say things enough, it will eventually manifest. That's one of the biggest things, is speaking life into your situations. You may not have a lot of money right now. You may not be able to give back to your community the way you want to right now. You may not have the money you want to go to school, but you have to say, I am a debt-free graduate. I am going to win the scholarships I am applying for. I will become who I'm supposed to be. Nothing will stop me. The only person who is going to stop me is me. I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to quit. I'll never give in. I'll never give up. I'll only give more. Speak that every single day. Think it every day. Make sure you see it everywhere you go. And if you have to pull away from social media, if you have to pull away from other people's opinions, if you have to isolate yourself, do it. Because at the end of the day, you only have the time you have, and you can't get any more of it that you lost. You can't guarantee any more of it in the future. So speak positivity, go to work, and just expose yourself to what you want. That's basically what I'm going to say. Baller player, I do have an IG. I don't use it. TMH, Jackson, yeah, thank you. My sister, so rare. I appreciate you. But y'all, just Bones, let me know if that helped. Cab, let me know if that helped. Just expose yourself to what you want. YouTube and seeing ET every day, that inspired me to be who I am today. I use YouTube because one of the reasons why I use it is because that's where I first got my first ounce of hope, was seeing Eric Thomas upload that video every single Monday. Good stuff, Cab. I saw that, and I saw that it gave me hope. And I said, if that's something that I do in my life, is give people hope through my videos, then I've done enough, because I mean, that's going to help inspire the next generation. And if you're trying to become something in life, know this too. If you feel like you're not having an impact, think about it this way. If you're speaking to a leader, someone who's going to transform this world and change the way people think about things in general, then you're speaking to a nation. If you are speaking to a leader, then you're speaking to a nation. Think about Martin Luther King Jr. Whoever spoke life into Martin Luther King Jr. spoke life into a certain type of people. He spoke life into melanated people Whoever spoke life into Barack Obama spoke life into a nation, because he changed the nation. Whoever spoke life into whoever you want to name, they spoke to a bigger audience than they ever could have imagined, because they spoke to a leader. And so y'all keep your head up, keep going. Nothing's going to be easy, but the things that come easy aren't worth having. Because when you have to fight for something, you have to work for something, you'll never forget what it took for you to get there. So you'll be less likely to be willing to lose it. Stay dedicated. Keep your eyes out on our YouTube channel. We'll be dropping some more content soon. I'm going to hold off before I close out. I know it's 3:30. I'm going to give people a couple more minutes to ask some questions in the chat, what have you, while I'm waiting for questions to come through. Last questions. What I will say is that this week, I will be working on content, working on products for those for degrees, pushing out videos on YouTube. What else will I be doing? That's about it. The end of 2019, we're going to finish it strong in scholarships. I'll be helping you all apply for the YFL Scholarship. If you need to contact me, let me drop that link so that you all have that. If you have a question for me, you want to do a one-on-one, you just want to have a conversation, what have you, baller player, this may be helpful for you because you were trying to get in contact with me. You can book an appointment to speak with me. We can speak for a few minutes via this link. So I'm going to drop that link in the chat. I'll give everyone one more minute to drop any questions, comments you have, any feedback. Let me know. As always, if you have any video suggestions, please comment on a video. Please let me know. I'd be more than happy to produce content that's going to help you succeed, because I'm here to serve you. I didn't get through my journey to a debt-free degree by myself, and so I know people need people in their corner, and I want to be of those people, be that for you, that person who helps you succeed. What else? I think that's all I have, y'all. But thank you for joining. Thank you for your time and attention. I can't wait to see you all throughout this week in future videos. Have a fantastic day. See you later.